Hello. Today we're going to be looking at how to make an effective PowerPoint presentation. Because PowerPoint can be an excellent tool that you can use within your oral presentation, or it can be something that distracts and irritates the audience during it. So you want to make sure you're using it correctly. My first slide on the purpose of PowerPoint is way too text heavy. As you can see, it's difficult for you as the audience to read and comprehend the different points that are being presented on it. The PowerPoint is a tool that's important to enhance the presentation, whether you're using it to help explain a complicated visual or simply trying to direct your audience's attention to a specific point you're trying to make. However, if you choose to read it word for word, you're often turned this way, so your voice is no longer being projected, and you're now making yourself as the presenter not important, because the audience can simply read your PowerPoint by themselves without having you read it for them. In addition, something this text-heavy is distracting for the audience to try to focus on you as you're presenting. This next slide has the exact same ideas as the previous one, but is much more concise and easier for the audience to read because there are key words used, there are no sentences, and it's important to remember as the presenter that you're presenting, not your PowerPoint. So you don't want to read from it point by point. You want to be able to talk freely. Your PowerPoint also needs to have appropriate visuals used, because a PowerPoint that is poorly planned can distract your audience. For example, this adorable picture of a puppy doesn't enhance my presentation in any way because it isn't connected to my presentation or related to my topic. It simply leaves the audience wondering, why is it there? And why is it so cute? Your visuals should complement your topic and be related to it. They should be used not as decoration for the slide, but as something that's enhancing the topic you've already started to cover. Your PowerPoint slides design is also very important. You want to make sure you have a consistent format used slide by slide. As you can see, mine has the blue waves. PowerPoint has several different designs you can use, or you can download different designs from the internet. Either way, both are great tools to use as long as you make sure you're using a consistent slide format throughout. And if you choose to change it, it has to have a specific reason, and for example, maybe you're emphasizing a different topic. In addition, you want to have consistent font style and font size that are used, as well as a font style and size that make it easy for the audience to be able to read the key points you've chosen to present. Because a difficult font to read or really tiny font size makes your PowerPoint null and void because it's no longer helping your oral presentation. The color on your slides is also very important because you want to make sure that the font color is not blending in with the background color. You want to have different colors that contrast one another. White and black are usually the most basic and easiest form. However, it might be too boring for you and you want to add a little color and flair. If you do, I suggest you refer to the color wheel. The color wheel is an excellent tool to use to help you choose complementary colors. Because if you remember, the colors across each other on the color wheel complement each other and contrast each other nicely, so you'll be able to make sure you can read them or your audience can read them while you're presenting. The animations within PowerPoint are endless and very entertaining, whether you have your font zooming on the screen or bouncing off of it. However, it's still important to remember that you are making a professional PowerPoint and a professional presentation, so you don't want your animations to be too silly, nor do you want them to distract your audience. You want to use them sparingly and use them to enhance your presentation or maybe emphasize a specific point or even your introduction or conclusion. It's important to remember while creating your PowerPoint presentation and your oral presentation who your audience is. Ultimately, you're presenting to them. What does your audience need to know? You want to choose those points and include those essential points on your PowerPoint slides in order, again, to help your audience understand your presentation and gather the key points. Because it is important to remember that the PowerPoint presentation you're using is simply a tool to help your own oral presentation. So for your own oral presentation, you have to remember to practice, 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 so that you know what you're saying and you know your slides backwards and forwards, so you can comfortably speak to each of them. I would suggest you practice presenting in front of a mirror at home, maybe in front of some family members at home if they're willing to listen, so that you're comfortable when you're presenting in front of the class. You want to try to be able to speak loud and clear and with confidence to your class, as well as maintaining eye contact, in order to ensure that great grade I know everyone's capable of. See you next time.